The United Kingdom is forging ahead with plans to increase taxes on wines. Now, most of South Africa's wine is exported, and the UK is an important market. Why this move and why now? Maryna, I beg your pardon, Calow is an industry association. Wines is with the Industry Association for Wines of South Africa and joins us now. Maryna, thank you so much for your time. Let's explain what exactly these new taxes look like and how they will affect South African winemakers.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. Essentially, this tax is a sliding tax. It starts on wines from 11.5% of alcohol by volume, so ABV. And as the alcohol level increases, so too does the level of tax that needs to be paid. So it's an interesting approach. We are not the only country, obviously, that will be affected by this. All countries exporting to the UK will be affected by this. But from a South African perspective, as a country with a warmer climate, that has a direct impact on the alcohol levels of our wine. And therefore, importers who import South African wine will probably be harder hit than those importing wine from European countries, for example.
Maryna, explain how the warm climate impacts the alcohol level and why it's not an easy task to just adjust the alcohol level.
So basically, the hotter it is, the more the sugars develop in the grapes themselves. And of course, we know that once you add yeast to that, there's a fermentation process. The more sugar there is, the more alcohol gets converted. So that's really the simplified version in explaining the situation in that regard. There are ways of removing alcohol from wine, but ultimately you really don't want to do that. That does affect the quality of your wine. And to be perfectly fair, we have beautiful wines that we produce here in South Africa, and we don't want to change what we do and how we do it. People love South African wine for the qualities that South African wine offer. Removing alcohol just to fall into some kind of a tax bracket really is not something we would consider to do.
How important is the UK market for the South African industry? How big of the slice of the pie export-wise is it for us?
It's our biggest export market, in fact. So roughly 20% of all our wine exports annually go to the UK. So it is a very important market for us. And we do hope that consumers will look past this tax increase and really continue to support South African wine simply because they really enjoy what we do, what we offer, and how we do it.
So is there no turning back on these taxes? Is it a definite that they will be implemented? And usually, how does a body like yours, an industry body like yours, engage with the governments of other countries?
It is certainly my understanding that Rishi Sunak has made up his mind in this regard and that there is no turning back. However, despite this, ourselves as well as our international counterparts, we know also Australian wine as well as Chilean wine, we've all lodged requests via our government bodies to try and negotiate any possible alternatives with the UK government in that regard.
All right, Maryna, before we let you go, just a snapshot of the industry so far. What was 2021 like, and what's the outlook for 2022?
2021, from an export perspective, was actually a very positive year. We exported roughly 10.2 billion rands worth of wine and about 388 million litres. So it's certainly moving into a recovery mode for our industry. We were very hard hit between 2015 and 2018 with a drought, which heavily impacted on our export volumes. And by 2019, we were only exporting about 320 million litres. That figure remained fairly solid once 2020 and COVID hit us at 319 million litres of exports. So the fact that we're sitting on 388 million litres is really heartening. And we're hoping that in 2022 we can break that 400 million litre barrier once again to more average export volumes. What is important, however, is to ensure that our pricing stays competitive, but not just competitive for our importers, also for our producers. So sustainability, especially financial sustainability, is absolutely imperative for our industry in order to really move forward and grow and reestablish our numbers where we are. So we're hoping, and by all accounts, reports so far are that we've got a very positive harvest and good quality, good fruit coming in at the moment. So keep your eye out on those 2022 vintage wines.
All right, Maryna, thank you so much. You know, recovery looked to be on track, and then the UK puts a spanner in the works. This is why we get happy when they lose at sport, because they do things like this. Maryna, thank you. Maryna Calow of Wines of South Africa.